Hey Jews, control the banks, the government, and the economy. Hey YouTube, it's your boy, your deity, Godzilla, back with another giggity gaming review. We're reviewing another tabletop game today, because I love tabletop games. Another miniature game. Yeah, you guys love miniatures. And it's even a Kaiju game. I know you motherfuckers love Kaiju. So, we're reviewing a Kaiju game today. Monsterpocalypse! This game was pretty popular for a while. And then, like, Tim Burton was even gonna make a movie based on it, which was kind of weird, but still. And then it died, and they stopped making it. And at the time of recording this, they have announced that they're going to bring it back, which I think would be pretty fun. And it's a really fun game, but it might just be a little too complex for my tastes. Like, it's got some really creative monsters, many of which are based off of famous kaiju. There's like a whole faction, I think it's called the Shadow Syndicate or something. I don't have any of those miniatures, so I don't remember the name. But they're all based on the Ultraman. There are dinosaur monsters based on Godzilla and Rodan and stuff like that. There's lots of cool monsters based off stuff from franchises they couldn't get the licenses for. But I've seen lots of people make custom Monsterpocalypse figurines for franchise monsters, which is pretty cool. But they're probably not play tested well, so I wouldn't use them. But yeah, so there's a map. And you have buildings in it, and the buildings each have effects and abilities, and you can get power-ups from destroying the buildings or being near them and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Sometimes that's built into the map, like the Voltron map has all that built in. You don't place buildings, but then like city maps you would place buildings in, so it just depends on what kind of map you play with. By the way, Voltron is the only licensed character in the game, because no one cares about Voltron, or at least when they licensed that, no one cared about Voltron. People like Voltron again now because of Netflix, but you know what I mean. So, you can do that, and you play with your factions, and you have your one main giant monster, and then you have a bunch of smaller monsters that can all fight each other. And then the main monster can transform into like a hyper-powered version of itself, and then there are different powered-up versions of monsters that you can get. And then there are also like fusion monsters. Like if you play with the Voltron miniatures, you play as the 5 lions, and then their powered up form is then fused into Voltron. But there are also different powered up versions of Voltron you can use. It's a really fun game with a really good premise, but honestly, it's just a little too complicated. Like, you know how lots of miniatures games, like HeroClix, modern HeroClix that is, and Star Wars miniatures will have cards that come with each miniature that tell you what all the cards' abilities are and everything. Monsterpocalypse doesn't have that. It has symbols on the monsters that tell you what their abilities are, but you have to look up those abilities and memorize those symbols. It's bullshit. I printed out a sheet that has all the meanings of all the symbols on it, so I know all the abilities. And for my miniatures, I actually took flashcards, blank flashcards, note cards, you know, and I wrote down the abilities of each character on them, and I put them with the character. So when my friends and I play, we have ability cards, but I had to make them myself. That's not cool. You can't expect us to memorize all these different symbols, Monsterpocalypse, especially when you're making new abilities for new monsters, you know? You can't expect us to do that. You just can't. And there are just so many rules. There are so many. The whole game is just really complex and complicated. You almost need someone who already knows how to play with to teach you how to play. Because when my friends and I sat down trying to learn how to play, we were like, this game is crazy complicated. We're missing all sorts of stuff. I can see why the game lost popularity pretty fast. Well, not pretty fast, but I can see why it did lose that popularity. But I can also see why it came back, because once you get the hang of it, it is a fun game. It's very much a fun game. And I do enjoy it, even if, once again, it's too complicated. Plus, it's a kaiju-themed game, and everyone knows if it's kaiju-themed, it's best, right? Currently in Monster fucking Apocalypse, I'm using this, like, big yellow hornet motherfucker. That's my main in Monsterpocalypse. I use the fucking hornet, and then for my army I have dinosaurs and fucking Lotron shit from the Voltron starter set. Voltron starter set's the recommended starter set from me, by the way. Gucci shit. Real Gucci shit. But yeah, that's what I currently play with. I have a few others, like some of the mole creatures. I have several insects, etc. I got some dinosaurs, you know what's up. But I'm main with the Hornet. The insect faction is Gucci. So, final thoughts. It's a very fun game, but it's also very complicated. There's no role-playing aspect. You could use these miniatures in a role-playing game if you wanted, but whatever. It is also very expensive. All tabletop miniature games like this are very expensive, so keep that in mind. But that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. We are still accepting submissions for intros. Make us a 5-second intro for this show, I guess. A 5-second intro for our gaming reviews. And I will, I'll use it. No copyrighted music or anything, obviously. I don't want this shit to get taken down. YouTube's on people's asses these days about that shit. Make it about 5 seconds, and of course include your name and shit at the end of it, so that everyone knows you made it and they can go to your channel. Am I exploiting you? Absolutely. But I'm too lazy to make my own, and people go gaga for that shit. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. I'm out of here. Like I'm done for the day. Fuck you.